Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in my last video, I went through, in my opinion, and where I'm spending my money, what is the best multi-process welder that you can get on a budget. Now granted, we went a little over my initial budget, but I think we got one hell of a machine. And in that video, I told you that I bought the Everlast MTS225, the Lightning model. So it's a multi-process. It does MIG, stick, and TIG, AC and DC. So you can do your aluminum, your steel, your stainless steel, onward, and whatever. So today's the day. It finally came in, and here it is. So I ended up unboxing everything. I was gonna make an unboxing video, but let's be honest, those are really boring. And you're like, oh wow, look at this. Oh, it came in a box. It's got some foam in it, and the box is trashed because it came from UPS. You get it. Anyway, so here it is. So with the package that we bought, we got the upgraded MIG gun, and we got the TIG kit. So it ended up coming with basically this whole box full of stuff. It came with tungstens, gas lenses, collets, these, which I don't really know what they are, but we'll eventually get to that. Came with some more tungsten, other pieces. This actually came with the torch itself. And on the torch we have a little button, plug, gas line to plug into the machine. And we got the upgraded Nova pedal. I don't know a lot about TIG, but eventually all of this stuff is going to make sense. Here's our ground. It's not the most high quality thing, but it'll work for what we're using it for. This came with a parts list for the torch, in case we need to ever order any more parts. This was a little disappointing. So I got 1.03 MIG tip. This one is a 0.04, and the one that came with the gun is a 0.04. So as far as consumables go for the MIG side of things, a little disappointed, but at the same time, these are really cheap. And I'm not sure, but I think I might be able to get these at Harbor Freight or pretty much anywhere else. Here's the plug that you get. This is the other downside that I found already, is that this cord is like 6 foot long or something like that. So that kind of sucks. But we'll probably end up making that longer, because over here is where we put in our outlet. So the welder can pretty much only come to like right here, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, but I'd like to make it longer, at least 10 feet long, so I can come out to here. Maybe get an extension cord for it so I can run in case I gotta do any work outside. But for now, this will be good enough. So, like I said, TIG setup, pedal, ground clamp, consumables, MIG gun. It came with a pretty decent regulator. Usually I do the weight test, and this is pretty heavy, so it's gotta be high quality, right? I don't know. Here's our gas line, and then as I was going in here, here's our adapter to go from 240 to 120. And then here is our stick electrode holder. So, I cut out a bunch of pieces that we're going to be welding today and tomorrow and for a while. But, so, unfortunately, I kind of only had the budget for one tank. So we got that tank from Matheson for around $250. It's full of C25, so it's a 25-75 mix. So today what we're going to be doing is testing out the MIG gun. I got some solid wire, I got some flux core wire, and I got a handful of electrodes. They're both 7018s, the two types that I ended up getting. So we have some 3/32 and some 1/8. And then here. We ended up going to Harbor Freight, getting some Vulcan wire, just because I knew they were going to have it, and they're going to have the sizes, and it's just down the road from here. So the cool thing is that even though these 2-pound spools only have this little hole in them, and these big spools have this larger hole, obviously, we're able to use the 2-pound spools, and we're able to use the, whatever, call it 11-pound spools, 10-pound spools, whatever. So in there, you have the little shaft, and then you have this big side. So we're able to fit small ones and big ones. And I didn't want to buy a whole big roll of flux core wire, because if we can do stick, we'll probably end up just stick welding stuff if we need to. And we also have the gas. And eventually I'll buy another bottle. I'll probably buy a bigger bottle of C25, and we'll keep the smaller bottle for our argon, 100% argon. So then eventually I'll be making some TIG welding videos. But you noticed, Brandon, that's crazy. Why is your brand new welder sitting on a table saw? We picked that up this morning. It is a, what is it? A Craftsman 10-inch table saw. I'll try and take the video in the description, but I want to build a welding table, and I want to do it on the cheap, trying to do a lot of this stuff on the budget side of things. I watched a guy turn one of these Craftsman tables into a welding bench, and the thing that's really nice here, we'll move some of this stuff out of the way here quick, is that it's cast iron, so this thing is heavy. We ended up using our cherry picker to lift this thing out of the truck, but it's heavy. You're able to put clamps in here on the bottom side and around on this side and on this side. It's fairly flat, super rigid, and we can end up making little holders for these grooves here. So if we want to have the 45, clamp some stuff. I mean, this gives us a lot of options. And I think this guy put this on, so kind of nice little ruler if we got to measure some stuff. Obviously, it's meant more for wood than it is for metal, but we'll make it for metal too. All that we're really going to do is unbolt this motor and stuff. And in the guy's video, he was talking about trying to turn that whole assembly into a belt sander, and I might try and do the same thing. I haven't watched his videos on him turning it into a belt sander, but maybe we'll give that a try. So we're gonna strip some of this stuff down, we'll get this all organized out, and I'll meet back with you guys and we'll start doing some welding. All right, 1, 2, 3. And here it is. We're all taken apart. So all it was a couple of 3/8 bolts in these 3 holes, and these 3 holes, 2 5/16 bolts right here to slide these off. You open up this cover and use the spring to take the belt off. The spring provides tension. Oop, made a mess. But it's nice because you can just swap out the belt quick. I almost felt kind of bad because the way, I don't know how old these are, but this thing is made very nice. All this nice cast. Just a little bit of surface rust here and there. Like, all of this mechanically worked great before taking it apart. Like, look at this. Let's see if I can position it. We're going to do the hold it with one hand and spin it with the other. Look at that. Look how long that spins for. I hate to sound like a broken record, but they really don't make stuff like they used to. Like, what kind of table saw is coming with this big piece of cast iron? And Sears Roebuck, made in USA. Nice. A little dented, but nice. All right, here we go. So here's kind of the setup. At Mom and Dad's, we have a bunch of angle iron that we're going to use to eventually build a stand and then a holder for the bottle and all that stuff. But for the meantime, just to move it around, we bought this little thing at Harbor Freight. So it'll be good enough for now. Tomorrow I'm picking up some angle iron. We'll do some more welding. I'll show you guys kind of what we're going to build. But here we go. So I'm going to try out stick first because for some reason I like stick a lot. So anyway, so in the manual, it shows you exactly how to hook up pretty much all of your different processes. Stop, be careful, you could break stuff. Okay, anyway, so here's how to hook up our MIG. So MIG gun, and then our work is going to be on the negative side. Now with flux, I didn't know this, your work is going to be in the positive terminal and your MIG gun obviously goes in the same spot. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, your spool gun, it's going to be the same as the MIG setup. We'll get into TIG welding once we get there because there's a lot that goes into that. But easiest thing, stick, positive, stick, ground. So here we go. I'm going to set up the camera and eventually we'll start making some of these welds. So I didn't clean up any of this because I was just curious on how dirty we were going to be able to do some stick stuff. I have a grinder over there. We'll put it together, get a disc on here, and then we'll clean it up to actually run some clean welds. But for the meantime, I want to try and see how dirty we can weld. So this is some kind of gross stuff and we'll see kind of what we can create. I have a ground on the table. It's pretty clean on this other side, so we'll have a good work side. I just picked up this Vulcan helmet too. $130, I think, $140. This thing's pretty solid. I've been welding with kind of a crappy helmet most of my life. So when I put this thing on, I was like, whoa, it's actually comfortable. And look at that view. Hopefully you guys can see it. Look at that. Look how big that is. Usually you're looking through like a 2x3 little thing with your auto darkening, but it's so clear. I'm spoiled. It's crazy how far this stuff has come, but I'm gonna set up the camera. I'll try and find the best spot for welding and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so to turn on the welder, on the back side here, there's this breaker. We got these two fans. And they run all the time, so at least we'll keep it cool, but it will be kind of annoying. We have this glass lens here. We're gonna go to stick. So we're gonna go stick. We'll try out our power set. So first off, we'll use the 7018 332nd, and then we're doing some huge material, so we'll set it as high as it goes. So we're at 100 amps. Obviously that piece is a little bit bigger than 3/16, but we'll see what 100 amps in our auto set does. Put you guys up here and we'll strike an arc. Don't mind my really nice wood chair. For some reason, I've lived here for like a year and a half already, and I still don't have a chair in my garage. So this is our chair for today, and I think I have a chair at Mom and Dad's still, so maybe we'll pick that up. But for the meantime, damn, this helmet's nice. Let's use our sleeves so we don't burn ourselves. That'd be kind of a good idea there. With our actually cotton shirt, no polyester, so we're not melting ourselves. Hopefully you guys can hear me while I'm in this mask. I'm sure that's going to be annoying. I'll probably eventually get a microphone for in here if we're going to keep on making welding. I'll be pretty sturdy here. Electrode. Alright, there it goes. Okay, I think we're on grind. Does that hurt? There, man, that was bright. We're gonna have to turn this thing off. Can't believe that. Maybe we should have read the instructions first. Wow. Okay. Weld on. Yeah. So that was not the right setting for the helmet. At all. Man, that's great. Alright. We'll try it one more time, and we'll see if we got the helmet set up right now. There we go. Oh, not too bad. I'm glad we're not really welding anything together, but yeah, those just peeled right off. Nice penetration. A little cold here, but this is literally, I took this out of my car. This probably has moisture in it. Piece is cold, and obviously we're gonna, as we start to warm up, better penetration along here. Not bad. She runs stick good. Can't complain one bit about that. Alright, let's try out our 1/8 inch. Maybe we'll, you know what? Let's grab some other dirty metal. Want some more crap. Let's see if we can make this stick to here. Tack it like that, and we'll just burn in some crap. All rusty, none of this is prepped. We'll see how it goes. Look at that. I'm gonna try and get some better light here. All unprepped crap. Tack weld's not that great, but God, there's some good heat in this already. It's gonna be a capable welder. I'm very excited. See a little bit of moisture coming out of here too. This is outside. I picked it up this morning, so it was cold, and then the rain and the fog and all the other crap. Well, let's burn the rest of this electrode off. And try out this other one. Put this plastic down. I'm so nervous about this plastic lid breaking off. It's only going to be a matter of time. Not bad. So we'll come back down here. We'll try the auto set again, and the only thing we're going to do is change it from 7018 3/32 to 7018 1/8. And we'll bump up this material. We'll go as thick as possible. 3/8. I think that cutting edge is like 1/2 inch. It's just mild crap, but yeah, we'll try it out. 140 amps. Whew, we're burning. We're burning. Even at 160 amp for the duty cycle is on this thing. 160 amp at 60% duty cycle. I don't even think you can weld that fast. Maybe, I'm sure some of you can, but I definitely can. By the time you grab another electrode and get back to your piece, I mean, there's your cooldown time. You pretty much run endless with this thing. I think I want my one on this side. Maybe that's half my problem at work. Maybe I need a new holder. Try this again. Ah, stuck it. It's my first time. So I'll show you kind of what's going on here. If anything, this does have arc force or whatever you call it, but maybe we'll try and tune it up a little bit and see if we can't get a little bit hotter start and try and play around with this thing a little bit. So let's turn off auto set. We'll bump up our amps. We'll keep them at 240. I don't remember. I think it's this button. Arc force. Put that at 50. Hot start. I'll do that for 1 second. Hot start time. Hot start percent. I don't know. 40. That's for if you're wet and you don't want to shock yourself, I think. I don't know exactly, but I think that's what that's for. So we'll try it. 40% arc force. Hot start time, 40%. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll start it out a little better. Maybe we won't. I think I'm probably going to have to open up a door and get a fan. I'd like to put an exhaust fan along off the side of the shop here. Make a little finger to come down and just kind of get this out of here. It is a little gross tasting in here already. We'll weld this, we'll use this electrode, and then I think we're going to air out the garage. Here, let me clean up where we're welding quick. Alright, clean. Go. Okay, we had this thing set way too hot. To be trying to weld to this piece, weld to this piece, to this piece. That was not great. But, yeah, we're gonna air out the garage because it's starting to get smoky in here already, and you get that little taste. That taste is no bueno. Alright, well, I forgot that I put the flux in there because I was going to try and test that. So before I do the solid wire welding, I'm going to try out the flux. So we'll go into here and we'll figure out, just to make sure, how we do our flux core. Flux core, got the setting, so we have our work piece in the positive side, and then we have the gun. So we go over here, work, it's in the positive, and then we have our MIG. And then to take this apart, just, yeah, naturally I messed up, but hopefully this disaster doesn't become a problem. But yeah, so you basically turn that over, and then this thing pops up, and then that's how you're able to feed your wire through there. Hopefully this will turn out and you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're gonna leave this open just in case this does turn into a bird's nest. Then we'll be able to repair it. But just so that it doesn't want to become a huge bird's nest, we'll tighten this up a little bit. But it's nice that we're able to run small spools along with our big spool. But we'll get to that. So we turn it on, back here, fire it up. Make sure we're not just feeding. That would not be good. So we'll turn on our power set. We'll just try it out. 30 wire. These are automatic. And then we're at our 1/4 inch. Obviously we're doing 1/2 inch, but for the meantime, we'll set it as high as it goes and see how it burns. Okay, so I got this run all the way through here. You want to make sure that your MIG lead is as straight as possible. Obviously I didn't run it like this. I had the cord over here when I was running it, and I was just making sure it wasn't going to ball up inside of there. But I took my tip off, I ran it through, put the tip back on. Now I'm going to leave the gas nozzle off because I don't want to get it all full of stuff. We'll end up taking the nozzle, we'll put it up there. But we'll just run a couple passes on our big piece of cutting edge and see how it welds. Put you back over here so you can see what's going on. Cover this so we don't step on it. That's all we need. So what I've heard you're supposed to do for flux, you want to run it out. Oh, that's so fast. You kind of want to curl it a little bit when you get to your piece, so that when it arcs, it doesn't push and destroy it. Turn our helmet from drying to weld, so that we don't hurt ourselves again. Crappy. You must not be getting flux clamp. Okay, so the reason why we couldn't get our flux core to work is because if we're doing DC, we need to have a positive and a negative. And if our work is plugged into our positive, I didn't see this. It's literally a picture. How much more simple could you have made this? I'm just kind of a dummy, I guess. But we have to move our positive wire to our ground wire for our gun. So what we do is we go in here and we move. Oh, it's not quite light enough in there. Grab a light. So in here, we need to move the positive to the ground side to be able to make our flux work. So we'll get that stuff swapped out and we'll try welding again. Alright, so we swapped our lead from positive to negative in the MIG door. We have our ground clamp on positive. We have our MIG lead on negative. So hopefully this will work now. Wow. So here was that last run. Probably shouldn't have this here either, but grab something metal to do that instead. I don't know. It'll do. I probably won't be running a lot of flux, but it's nice to have the option. I figured I'd at least buy a spool and see how it welded. I gotta figure out how to, what I'm doing here. Like here it's cold, here it's hot-ish, and then here it's just our whole puddle. I don't know how to alleviate that, but we'll learn. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna run some solid wire next to weld these things up. Okay, so I did a little bit of practicing. The auto set's actually pretty solid. I'm a big fan of where it's kind of putting the voltage and the wire speed, and I just welded this booger thing on. I didn't clean it up. There's still a bunch of slag on it. It's running pretty good. What I'll do is I'll grab another piece. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, but I mean, if this is a 1/2 inch piece of steel cutting edge, and just burning this thing on, it's penetrating through, like it's making it all the way through this piece, and it's auto set to 3/8. I mean, this thing, it gets hot, it penetrates. Color me impressed. I like it. It's probably gonna end up melting this, but we'll put it on, we'll weld on this side. I mean, this is all just garbage, crap, slag, whatever, and we'll stick to this piece and kind of see what it looks like. Damn. Pretty good. Nice and hot on the bottom. God, yeah, that's a hot piece. Look at that. I mean, I'm not the best welder by any means, but this is stuck on here now. I'm impressed. I like it. Fall on this little rail. Keep them for later. But yeah. It's not bad. I'm a big fan of it. So here it is, the Everlast Lightning MTS225. $1,850, and you can, I mean, weld stuff like this together. Even with the stick. I mean, the stick settings were pretty much perfect. The flux settings, I don't really know how to weld flux, but they're They were better using the auto set than they were when I was trying to figure out how to set it. The solid MIG is phenomenal. I mean, that's some of the best welds I've ever laid down. It's nice that you can just use the auto set and it ends up being really close. It's really easy. You just click a couple buttons and it sets it, and then you can kind of go on the amperage side, high or low, or on the voltage side, you can go high or low. And I mean, it just gives you a couple things as far as the auto set stuff goes. And then if you want, you can turn auto set off and you can go through, I mean, every little thing that you want to do. There's a lot of things about this machine that I don't even know how to use, but seeing this stuff, I'm impressed. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up my unboxing and initial testing on the Everlast Lightning MTS225. It's a great machine. It burns in fat welds. It's stick welds, like better than I know how to. MIG weld's great. Flux core, it's easy to use. It's easy to work on. The only thing that's kind of annoying is having to swap out between flux and solid wire. You gotta swap out that wire, take it out, and bolt it back in. But if that's my only complaint about this thing so far, I mean, this is gonna be a great machine. I'm excited to TIG with it eventually. Once this bottle runs out, I'm gonna go and swap it out for 100% argon, and we'll try our hand at TIG welding. So I'm gonna just do some welding up like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thanks for sticking around.